Hi there, I'm Heidi from the San Francisco Community Music Center, and today I'm going to show you how to tune your violin. There are 4 strings on the violin: E, A, D, G. Each string comes with its own peg as well as its own fine tuner. Now, this is not necessarily true if you have a full-size violin, which this isn't, by the way. This is a half-size. Full-size violins usually come with just an E string fine tuner, but if you're new to tuning, go ahead and ask your luthier to put on the other 3 for you so that you can get more comfortable with tuning your instrument. Both the pegs and the fine tuners have a job. The pegs are for making large adjustments to the sound, while the fine tuners are for making smaller adjustments. So if the string is really out of tune, you'll want to use the pegs and get as close as you can to your desired pitch, and the portion of the sound that you still need and you don't think you can quite get using the large motor here, you go down to the fine tuner, just turn it righty-tighty to make the pitch go up, or lefty-loosey to make the pitch go down. So if we want to use our pegs, there are 2 directions that you can go. So I'm gonna take, let's say, our A string here. So with the strings facing you, you're gonna follow the string up, see which peg it belongs to, and the A string one happens to belong to the top one on my right, if you're looking at your instrument. If you turn away from you, that's going to increase the tension of the string, which will cause the pitch to go higher. Conversely, if you turn the peg towards you, that's going to relax the string, which is going to cause the pitch to go lower. If I know that I'm going to try tightening it or turning it away from me, I usually like to turn it towards me just a little bit before I go in the opposite direction to tighten it. Now, when I'm tightening the string, I go little by little and I pluck it as I go while also pushing firmly into the peg box. If you don't push into the peg box while you're turning, the string is going to slip just because the way that the pegs are carved. They're not a perfect cylindrical shape, but rather conical or tapered. So it's very important to remember to not only turn slowly, but to push in as you turn slowly. I emphasize slowly because if you go in too hard, too fast, you're going to break a string. You'll want to be especially careful with the E string over here because it's the most delicate of the 4 strings. It's the most likely to break on you. So if you do have to use the peg for the E string, I would recommend putting the violin an extra few inches away from you, and then you're going to relax the peg and turn slowly but pushing firmly into the peg box, and then plucking as you go until you get to the right pitch. If it makes you nervous that the strings are staring back at you, just pivot the violin away from you and try turning the pegs, or you can completely flip it around, same protocol, so that if the string does break on you while you're tuning, it's not gonna snap up in your face, which has happened to me a couple of times in my life, and it's not fun. So if you take those precautions, you will survive tuning your E string. If you're scared to use the pegs at all, you can see how far you can get using your fine tuners, and if that still isn't enough, then just take your violin to your teacher or to your local luthier. My beginner students love using this app that you can download for free on the App Store called Simply Tuner. I love how visual and user-friendly the program is. When you play any given string, the app will tell you what it's hearing and advise you what to do with your string to get it to perfect. It's an excellent learning tool for students trying to figure out this whole tuning ordeal, and ends up making the learning experience a little bit more fun. When you're tuning your violin, you also want to watch the bridge. You want to make sure that it doesn't lean forward. It will lean forward when you use the pegs because you're pulling them up this way. So a little trick that I like to use is grab any old piece of music, thin book of some kind, and you're going to just gently whack the bridge between the D and the A strings. By doing that, it will be just enough of a force to knock the bridge into place. And there you have it. Happy practicing!